Hi, Kathryn here with Circle Art Designs. Today is Friday Kits Day. I am so excited. We will be working on a glass faceted shield necklace and earring set. The kits are up in the shop. So let's see what we have in this shield necklace kit. When you get your little plastic bag with all the stuff in it, you should have a large one and then 2 of your smaller bags. No, I'm sorry, 3 this time. In the first of your little bags, you should have all of your hardware for the necklace. This will include your 3mm silver beads, your rhinestone rondelles, your daisy spacer beads, just everything you will need for the necklace. And it will include 2 of your wire guards and some of your little crimps that you will need for the center of this necklace. I just love all the little findings that are going on this necklace. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. In the next bag will have all of the beads we will use in the center portion of the necklace. Aren't those just an amazing mix? Wait till you see the dark ones. They're even more amazing than they look. We will be using some of the crystal lantern beads, and oh, they just catch the light beautifully. And then we have 3 sizes of this smoky crystal glass rondelle bead, and it is an AB bead. Wait till you see me turn this over. I will try to feature this bead several times, because when the light hits this bead in just the right way, it flashes purple and green and gold, and it's lovely. When you wear this on your neck or in your ears, and the movement of your body or the dangle of your earrings, it's just an amazing flash. I can't even describe how beautiful these beads are. So with the catching of the light and those lantern beads and the flash of those smoky crystal beads, they will look amazing. And then we have one more of the little plastic bags, and in this is a wrapped bead. This will be used for your pendant. Look at this. This is a shield bead. It is a glass faceted bead, and it is in a smoky crystal that, as you turn it to the light, will flash with greens or purples or blues, depending on how the light catches it. It's just stunning. Now, in the last little bag, you should have 3 links of silver plated chain, and then 2 longer links of the silver plated chain. You'll also have the jump rings that you will need. You will have your lobster claw and an extender in there, and just everything you need to finish the necklace. And in the final, the large of your bags, you will have your beading wire, your earring findings, everything you will need to do the earrings. So let's get started. To start this project, we'll need our beading wire and our wire guard and one of our crimps. You're also going to need a crimping tool. You can use a pair of pliers and just mash your crimp down, but it's not as secure. So if you have a crimping tool, let's use it. So after you slip on your crimp, and this is a 2mm crimp, you're going to take your wire guard. It's shaped like a U. You should have 2 of them. The first one you're going to put through one side, bring it around, put it on the other side. When you do that, then pull the end of your wire down. Don't leave more than a 1/2 inch tail. You don't want to run out of wire. And then put it through your crimp, and we'll use the crimping tool. So, we've put our wire through our wire guard, and now we pulled the wire down tight up against the top of the U. And we're ready to pull up our crimp and use the tool. Now you'll notice that I have let my wires make an X. That is not what we want. I'm going to straighten these wires out before I crimp so that they lay side by side each other. Now once you get them side by side, using the crimping tool, you're going to put it in the back circle and mash it flat. This will cause it to form an M on one side. Then turn it halfway, put it in the front half circle, and mash again. And this will bring that M together and make a perfect little ball. Tug. And if it's tight, then you've got it. If not, you have to start over. Now this will be the pattern for this necklace. You're going to start out with your silver round spacer balls, then the smallest of your blackened crystal beads, then a lantern bead, then a daisy, then a lantern bead, then a daisy spacer, a lantern bead, and your rhinestone crystal rondelle. Then the larger of the beads, not the largest, but the medium size. And you're going to want a large of the black and crystal, then the lantern, I did it again, a daisy spacer, then a lantern, then a daisy spacer, then the black and white, and then your rhinestone crystal rondelle. And then you'll repeat that with the larger of your black and white beads, your daisy spacer, your lantern crystal, your daisy spacer, the larger of the black and crystal beads, and then your rhinestone rondelle. Now this changes a bit. You will have a 3mm bead, your daisy spacer, and you're going to move that bell out to one side because that's just a place marker for me. And then you should have 5 or 6 little 11mm crystal seed beads. I want you to put those on right at the middle of your necklace. That's going to be for that bell to hang on. Then you will repeat going back up. Daisy spacer, then your 3mm round spacer bead, your rhinestone rondelle, your black and white bead, daisy spacer, lantern, daisy spacer, black and white bead, rhinestone rondelle, black and white bead, daisy spacer, lantern, daisy spacer, black and white bead, rondelle, small of the black and white beads, daisy spacer, lantern, daisy spacer, lantern, and you're finishing off with the 3mm round spacer bead. And now it's a matter of just stringing the beads. We'll start with the 3mm round spacer ball, then your small black and white, then your daisy, then your lantern, then your daisy, then your small black and white. We'll go on from there to put on your rhinestone crystal rondelle, then your medium size of the blackened crystal bead, then a daisy spacer, your lantern bead, a daisy spacer, your lantern bead, and then your crystal rondelle, rhinestone rondelle. I had a brain lapse. Now you're going to carry that through till you get to the middle of the necklace. Would you take a moment, please, and like this video and leave a comment? Thank you so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to this channel and you will get notices of when I put something new up. Thank you. Look at the light in that lantern bead. Isn't that lovely? And what about the beginning to see the flash on those black and crystal beads? Beautiful. There's that flash I've been talking about. Now when that thing goes on, it's purple and blue and gold and a hint of green. It's just lovely. See what I mean? It's just some amazing beads. So we're coming up on the center of this necklace. I'll join you again when we get to the center. Now, after you put on your last rhinestone rondelle, you're going to put on one of the silver 3mm spacer bars. That's because those 11-meter seed beads will go just right through that thing. Next, you want to add 5 of your crystal 11O seed beads. This is the width you will need for that bell to swing on. Oh, I really do have a Texas accent, don't I? And it should look like this. So now go ahead and put on your bell. And then we're going to put on a 3mm of the spacer ball. And then we're going to start repeating that pattern all the way back up till we finish the other side of the centerpiece of the necklace. I will meet you at the end. Oh, that is so pretty. We're going to crimp this end just as we did the other one. Put on your crimp, then put on your wire guard. Once you get it through both ends, pull it down to touch your last bead you put on. Put it through the crimp. You want it to be tight, but not so tight that it won't bend, but you don't want a lot of space between your beads. Once that's on, go ahead and put your crimp in the back of your crimper. Mash it down, then put it in the front of the crimper, turning it half a turn, and mash your M together. And the centerpiece of your necklace is completed. I'm turning my beads so I can see the sparkle. You should have set aside your 3 chains 2 of your daisy spacers, 2 of your round 3mm ball spacers, and a jump ring. Oh, and your head pin. Oh no, it's not a head pin, it's an eye pin. So we begin this with our eye pin. Put on your 3mm round spacer ball. Then put on that beautiful faceted glass shield bead. Then you're going to put on a daisy spacer. On top of that, from your kit, the largest of those black and crystal beads will go on top of that daisy spacer. Then another daisy spacer, and then the last of your 3mm ball spacer beads. Whoops, my little spacer ball jumped off. Let's try this again. Now, isn't that beautiful? I think it reminds me of a of a perfume bottle. I didn't think so when I was making it, but that picture makes it look like a perfume bottle. It's just lovely. Wow. Now you want to cut off about 2 or 3 millimeters of the top of this head pin. And then you're going to take your straight nose pliers and you're going to begin to turn your loop. Can you see how much I'm clipping? Now, if I was going to turn this as a continual loop, I would just leave it all on and turn it till I hit that bottom bead. But this one I'm just doing a loop, so I don't want to have too much or make the loop too big. I want it to match the one on the other end of the head pin. So once I get it turned down, I'm going to take and I'm going to slip my pliers back into that loop, and I'm going to move that over the bead, and then I can close it. And it should look something like that. Then the next step is to make sure that my loop on the top and my loop on the bottom are facing the same direction. And so I will hold one loop with a set of pliers and the other loop with a set of pliers. And just like you open a jump ring, you're only going to twist gently one of the loops till it lines up with the other loop and they're facing the same way. And I don't know about you, but I'm a fiddler and I'll keep fiddling with this thing till I get it exactly the way I want it. I'd like to say that I am a perfect loop maker. I see lots of people that are, but that is not me. But since I was selling this as a kit, I wanted to do it in such a way that anyone could do it, even if you didn't have the loopers that I use all the time. And there it is, ready for the continuous loop tassels that I will be using. I will not cut the chain for the tassels. I will put both ends on a jump ring. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our jump ring. Take 2 sets of pliers, hold your jump ring between them with the slit at the top. Then with one wrist, twist to open the jump ring, and it should look like the picture. Now take your first piece of silver chain, put one end on the jump ring, and then bring up the other end and put it on the jump ring, and it should make a continuous loop. We will do that with all 3 of these tassel silver chains. Now, once you have all of your chain on this jump ring, go ahead and add your pendant to that jump ring. Once that's done, holding your jump ring between two pliers, just as you twisted one side to open, twist it back to close it, and make sure it's closed really well. I just love this type of chain tassel. Now, if you do not want a tassel on yours and you have a head pin, you can go ahead and make this on a head pin and not have any tassel at all. Or maybe you'd like to put your own charm on it, or maybe a cord tassel. It's, you know, just because you buy it as a kit doesn't mean you can't add things or take away things to make it your own special piece. So let's finish up this necklace. Taking the centerpiece of your necklace, you're going to take the two longest pieces of chain. They should run about 7 inches. Opening your jump ring by holding it between two pliers and twisting, you're going to put in your one side of your wire guard and one of your chains and close that up. Then you're going to do it the exact same way to the other side. Open up your jump ring, put on your necklace center, then put on your chain and close your jump ring. Okay, the next part I find a little hard for me, but not for the reasons you might think. I'm left-handed, and my daughter informed me recently that I always put my clasps on for left-handed people. So now I'm always second-guessing myself. Is this for a right-handed person or a left-handed person? But you should know if you're right-handed. Go ahead and take your extender, open up your jump ring, put on your chain, put on your extender, and close your jump ring. Then we're going to do the same thing for the other side for the lobster claw clasp. Open the jump ring, put on your chain, then put on your clasp and close your jump ring. And the last thing to do is put on your pendant. Now, the beautiful thing about these shield glass faceted beads is they're faceted on both sides. I'm sure they have a right and a left, but they look the same to me. So pick the side you like the best, put that at the front, open up your jump ring, put it on your pendant, and then put your pendant on your bell, and make sure you close that jump ring really well. You don't want to lose this beautiful glass shield bead. And your necklace is finished. Now for the earring portion of this set, you should have 2 of your silver-plated nickel-free hooks, wire hooks. Earring hooks. I'll get it eventually. You should have 2 of your silver-plated small head pins. You should have 2 small jump rings and 1 medium jump ring. You should have 4 sets of the silver-plated chain, and this will be 2 for each earring. And you should have 2 of your black and white beads and 2 of your lantern beads. 24 gauge head pins, so you can straighten them pretty easily with your fingers. If not, just use your pliers, but be very careful because they are plated. Once you get that done, put on your largest bead, the black and crystal, and then you're going to put on your 3mm head pin. Now taking your finger, bend that wire towards the bead. Bend down. Go ahead and take your straight nose pliers, gripping the very tip. We're going to do a rolled loop. You're going to take at the very tip with nothing hanging out and gently, taking slight little twists, turn that wire till it touches the bead. Once that's done, using the same straight nose pliers, gently move the circle to where it sits over the top of the 3mm bead. So let's do that again. With your lantern bead, you're going to put it on your straightened head pin. Then you're going to put on your 3mm. Then you're going to take your finger and gently bend that, kind of bend it over so that it is flat up against the bead. So if your bead was the bottom of a capital L, that would be the top of the capital L laying horizontal across the bead. Once that's done, take your pliers, holding it with the very tip of the wire between your straight nose pliers, and gently twist that rocking motion until you twist it down, touch your bead, and then adjust it. Now, using the smallest of your jump rings, you're going to open it up, holding it between two pliers. I have to use the ones that have the smallest ends on these little bitty jump rings, but I wanted them to not be stark against the small chain. So you're going to open them up, holding one steady, twisting the wrist of the other one. It opens it up, put on your bead, and then the end of your chain, and close your jump ring by twisting gently until the ends meet and there's no gap. Okay, I finally realized that my hands were out on the bottom of the screen. All right, you've opened your little jump ring up. You're putting your chain on. Then you're going to put your bead on, and you're going to close that jump ring with a twist, a gentle twist, until they meet at the top. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our jump ring and open it. Then we're going to put on our chain, put on our bead, and then close it. Okay, I have a confession to make. I forgot to do these earrings. Well, actually, I forgot to record them. And so I was recording this at like 11 o'clock last night, and my brain cannot seem to remember, don't let it fall off the screen. Thank you so much for joining me for Kit Friday. Or Friday Kits. You know, I do it half a dozen both ways. But anyway, for Friday Kits today, the kits will be in the shop. They will have everything in it that you need to make this beautiful set of jewelry. So please stop in at circleartdesigns.com and check us out. Now we're ready to go ahead and put these dangles on the earring wire. I am using the larger of the 3 jump rings, and I will put both of the chain dangles onto that jump ring and add that jump ring to the ear wire hook. Now when you do the second set, however you put it on the first time, turn it to put it on the second time, because you want, like if you have your big beads against your neck, you want the big beads against the neck on both sides. If you have the little beads against the neck, you want the little beads against the neck on both sides. Unless that doesn't bother you, and then just do them both the same way. It is really up to you. So I'm going to leave you to do the second earring on your own. It will be exactly the way you did the first one. Just remember to reverse your beads when you put them on the ear wire. These are so pretty to be such a simple little dangle earring. Again, thank you so much for joining me on this beading adventure today. I hope you have a great day and a great weekend. Kathryn, CircleArtDesigns.com. Oh, I'll put pictures up. Blessings, y'all.